empire called the Ottoman Empire. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the Renaissance, Europe after the Middle Ages. And in this episode, we are going to talk about the Renaissance, and it's going to hold Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. And also, let's find out in our extra history what this writing is about. So, let's get started by looking at some notes. Alright, now that you saw my notes, let's get started on our Renaissance. What does Renaissance mean anyways? Well, the Renaissance means rebirth. Historians use this word to say out that the Renaissance really means the rebirth of ideas of culture and religions. Well, this is said like that because in the Middle Ages, ideas and inventions and cultures haven't been spreading so fast. It's like the spreading of the ideas in the Middle Ages were like a turtle. But when the Renaissance happened, it happened like a fast cannonball. Imagine that. Alright, so we're mainly going to talk about Florence and Italy. The Renaissance started in Italy, and during the Renaissance, Italy wasn't even a country, not the boot country we see today on world maps. Alright, it was a lot of city-states. There was Genoa, Venice, Florence, and a lot of other city-states. We're mainly going to talk about Florence in this part. Alright, Florence was the biggest city of the Renaissance flourishment in the Renaissance. And that is where the Medici family ruled. What is the Medici family? No, not Messi, the soccer player. The Medici family. Don't get that confused, alright? I'll write their name right here. Oops. The Medici family. They ruled Florence, and if you are familiar with a man called Leonardo da Vinci, his time was when the Medici family ruled. I'll write his name. You might be familiar with Leonardo da Vinci because of his famous painting, the Mona Lisa. Well, we're going to talk about that later. Right, so here's a guy called Leonardo da Vinci. He was born in 1452. Well, Leonardo da Vinci means Leonardo from Vinci. So Vinci was a city-state. Da means from. Got it? Alright. He composed a lot of artworks during his time and well, as I said earlier, he was born in 1452. He was born from 1452 and he finished his most famous masterpiece called the Mona Lisa in 1504. Wait a minute, 1504, that means he made it when he was 54 years old. So brown color. Alright, the Mona Lisa, you can see the real one in the Louvre Museum in France today. It still stands up. Alright, Leonardo da Vinci was a greatest artist of the Renaissance, and people say that he is the truest Renaissance man. Well, what is a Renaissance man? Well, a Renaissance man is a man who can achieve a lot of great things, such as having inventions and science and, well, you know my point, and all at the same time. All at the same time. How can you imagine that? Oh, and also during the time of the Renaissance, there was this idea called humanism. Here, I'll write it right there. Humanism. Humanism was the idea that people can achieve great things. So people tried to be a human. Most people in the Renaissance became humanists, and because of the humanism idea, people studied all they can about almost every subject, such as science, math, no, that's math, astronomy. Well, it's a bit complicated. Oh, and also, if you're wondering what Leonardo da Vinci's studies are, there are numerous. He was a painter, scientist, inventor, poet. He even wrote up some poems. Poet. What else? poet, engineer, like my father, and a lot of other fields. He's crazy at all of those subjects. He's one of my heroes. He's one of my heroes, and I think that his Mona Lisa's real name is truly magnificent. Alright, Leonardo da Vinci was an apprentice from a famous man called Michelangelo. More on him later. Well, how did these ideas spread so fast anyways? Well, these ideas spread fast because of a machine called the printing press. Who made this machine, the printing press? You might be familiar with it if you are from the 1900s. The printing press was made by Johannes Gutenberg. Here, I'll write his name. Where should I write his name? Oh, right here. Johannes Gutenberg. He's German, and Gutenberg is a German word. Alright? And with the printing press of the help, a lot of books were made in just an hour. Long ago by hand, it would just take a few years. And with the help of the books spreading quickly, common people can afford them. Not just the rich people, the nobles, not just the nobles and the kings. Even common people can get them too. And with the common people getting the discoveries that other people made, they can make new discoveries based on other discoveries that were made. Whoa. Whoa. Woo. What else? Oh yeah, there was also one artist called called Michelangelo. Michelangelo was the teacher of Leonardo da Vinci. Here. What? Yeah. Michelangelo, as I said earlier, is the teacher of Leonardo da Vinci, and it was the guy who made Leonardo da Vinci who we know today. Oh, and also if you might be kind of familiar with his paintings like the creation of Adam. Right, really? He made that? Yeah, creation of Adam and the Last Judgment. With the Last Judgment was a painting with over 300 Bible characters. Here, I'll write it. No. Alright, these are those were some of his works, and he painted those on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. I have visited there once. A Sistine Chapel. Let's write it right up here. Oh, and a pope called Justin the Second asked him to do it. Sistine Chapel. Oh, and also Michelangelo said that he was a sculptist, and one of his famous sculptors was a boy named David. The sculptor was David. Mostly people sculpted a lot of men in the Renaissance time, but Michelangelo wanted to do something different, so he made a boy instead. Well, he's very creative in my opinion. Oh, and don't mix with the name of a mouse with Michelangelo. Don't think about that. Alright, this Renaissance stuff had helped this Italian explorer called Christopher Columbus go to a new world, the North Americas. Here, I'll show you. Alright. First, Christopher Columbus was from Italy, but he was sponsored by the Spanish to go to the North Americas. More on that on our next episode. Oh, and if you're wondering what his name looks like, I'll write it to you. Christopher Columbus. Next episode. Christopher Columbus. He meant to go to the Indias, but he instead found a new continent. Find out tomorrow to see what he discovered. The end. Hope you enjoyed the explaining part of this video. And I'll see you in the writing video. Shake hand. It's a night. Finish with the quiz. Oh, it's you. Alright, today's writing questions will be like the same as always, like how they are sponsored. And don't get surprised because I guess until season 4 we're gonna have these same questions. Number 1, what did you learn about the Renaissance? Oh my goodness. 2, was there a time in your country's history when things changed quickly? What happened? Alright, so let's get first on the Renaissance. What did you learn about the Renaissance? Well, I learned that the Renaissance was the literal meaning was rebirth. So it means rebirth of cultures and ideas. And that it was the time when Italy, it wasn't Italy, it was a lot of city-states, advanced. And it was also the time when ideas quickly spread much faster. 100 times as fast the speed of the Middle Ages spreading of their ideas. Oh, and also there were a lot of great thinkers during the Renaissance, such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Johannes Gutenberg, who invented the printing press in 1450. Our next question. Was there a time in your own country's history when things changed quickly? What happened? Well, the time that changed in my history, Korea's history, is after the Korean War. There was a lot of destruction, including this place. Even so, look out there. What do you see? No destruction, eh? No destruction, eh? Well, long ago, there were a lot of destruction there. Just think of the buildings as destructed with little jagged pieces with fire on them. Well, that happened a lot of time. After the Korean War, Koreans fixed it, and also I think it was the time when they advanced. And that's how we got our Korea today. Advanced great things. So that's the end of our writing, and I'll see you in extra history. Let's talk about the life of Leonardo da Vinci. When was Leonardo da Vinci born? Well, Leonardo da Vinci was born in 1452. And then during his life, the next life as a youth and a child, he drew a lot of compositions. He even made a Mona Lisa in 1504. He was born in 1452 and he made it in 1504. Let's do some math. So it's like 48 plus 4 equals 52. He made the Mona Lisa when he was just 52 years old. Well, he lived for 52 years. And here's a brief picture of how the Mona Lisa could have looked like. So there's the framework. There's the inside framework. Right? So here's the woman. Mysterious smile. Clothes. Background with a little river right here. Well, this is how the Mona Lisa could have looked like. Oh, and also during the Renaissance, no eyebrows and paintings. Alright, so Leonardo da Vinci made the Mona Lisa in just 4 years. He started the Mona Lisa when he was in 15,000, exactly 15,000, and he finished it in 1504. Got that? Alright. So we know that he made a Mona Lisa, and he accidentally had he made an experiment of kind of drying up oil paint. Here's the experiment. Oh my goodness, well, let's erase this. Alright, so the experiment is about drying up oil paintings. He was asked to paint a ceiling surface of the chapel, probably the Sistine Chapel itself. We're not sure. So, all right. So here's the experiment. He got the painting up. And he put fire. He put fire on the painting's oil paint. And then what happened? Guess that in the comments below. Answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The painting burned and burned the chapel. Probably not the Sistine Chapel. Then. And Leonardo da Vinci never redrew the painting again. So we do not know how it might have looked like. Leonardo's famous masterpiece was the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper with Jesus' Last Supper, and an angel on Michelangelo's project. If you want to know which angel that Leonardo da Vinci painted, there are two angels. It's the one that looks more realistic. I'm not kidding. Even he was started at 10 years old, he began drawing a lot of realistic drawings. He just had made his own rules by blurring a bit of the landscape. That's how we see it. See it on our landscapes. And also Leonardo da Vinci wrote a bit differently. Wrote a bit differently than our writings. Just a minute, please. Wish I did. He wrote differently, and this is how he wrote. Okay, I'll write it right here. He wrote in mirror writing. What's mirror writing? Just a minute. I'll get my mirror writing script. Alright, so it's written in. I'll write my name. I am Shun. Where I'll go. I am Shun. You might say, oops, wrong way. You might say that this looks weird and I wrote it wrong, but try putting this up in, why am I writing it forwards? Try putting my writing forwards onto a mirror. Shun. Put this in the mirror and you might see as I am Shun. Here's just an example of his writing, and he wasn't crazy. He just wanted to protect his work. So he wrote it in mirror writing. Why isn't this? Alright. And also, you might be surprised that the first robot ever was designed by Leonardo da Vinci himself. And he also made a lot of designs of invented that were hundreds of years ahead of his time. He even made an airplane, but in all accounts, his airplane was too heavy and had not enough lift to get a man up. If he ever was able to fly, he would have written it backwards. Or just backwards. So this is our extra history for today, and let's say goodbye for our video of the Renaissance. See you then. Shahan out. This video was made by me. It was sponsored by me. The hands-on series videos will be recorded in Seoul in this hotel. Of course, the talking was made by me, the script was written by me, the writing was done by me as you see in the video, and by supporting my channel is to do this. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you wouldn't miss any of my videos, and also to do that, you can also hit the bell button to all so you wouldn't miss any of my videos. And if you're doing that, you'll all support my channel and keep my videos free for everyone. Oh, and also if I do ask a question, please answer that in the comments below or just email me directly at 20jur@naver.com. And today's question is, which family ruled Florence during the Renaissance? Is it A, the Medici family, B, Leonardo da Vinci, or C, Mona Lisa? See you then!